History is written by the survivors. But what about those who left no one behind to tell their story? We're not talking about cities that were conquered or empires that slowly faded. We are talking about entire civilizations, complex societies that thrived for centuries, only to suddenly vanish. They walked away from their towering cities, their advanced technology, and their way of life, leaving behind only silent ruins and a mystery that echoes across thousands of years. Where did they go? And what terrifying force could erase a people so completely from the earth? Today, we investigate three of history's greatest vanishing acts. Long before our modern cities scraped the sky, other civilizations mastered the earth, raising monuments to rival our own, only to vanish into silence. They were masters of engineering, astronomy, and urban planning, yet each one collapsed, their populations scattering, their knowledge lost. We will explore their glory, their sudden collapse, and the dark, unsettling theories about what might have happened to them. 1. The Indus Valley Civilization, the peaceful empire that evaporated. Our first civilization emerged over 4,000 years ago in what is now Pakistan and India. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan, was one of the largest in the ancient world, larger than both Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. They built magnificent cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, laid out in perfect grid patterns with the world's first sophisticated sanitation systems, toilets and drains that wouldn't be seen again until the Romans. But what's truly strange is what archaeologists don't find. There is no evidence of palaces, no grand royal tombs, no monuments to mighty kings, and crucially, no signs of armies, weapons, or war. It appears to have been a remarkably peaceful and egalitarian society. Then, around 1900 BC, the unthinkable happened. The people began to abandon their perfectly planned cities. There is no evidence of invasion, no mass graves from a bloody conflict. They simply walked away. Theory 1. The environmental collapse. The leading theory is climate change. The monsoon cycles that fed their agriculture may have stopped for centuries, turning fertile land into desert and causing mass famine. But the darker twist. What if their greatest strength became their fatal flaw? What if a society so structured, so orderly, so peaceful, lacked the brutal resilience to face a catastrophic, changing world? When the rivers dried up, did their entire social contract simply unravel? 2. The Maya, the stargazers who abandoned the heavens. In the dense jungles of Central America, the Maya built an empire of stone and intellect. They were legendary astronomers, master mathematicians who conceptualized zero, and their elaborate calendar was a marvel of precision. Their cities were bustling centers of ceremony and trade. Then, at the peak of their classic period, around 900 AD, it all fell apart. In a historical blink of an eye, the Maya deposed their divine kings, stopped building their majestic temples, and abandoned their great cities to the jungle. Why would a people so advanced simply turn their back on everything they built? Theory 1. The war and drought. The mainstream theory points to a devastating mega-drought, intensified by widespread deforestation and soil erosion. This would have led to famine and resource wars between the once great city-states. But the darker twist: what if the priests and kings who claimed to control the very cycles of the sun and rain were finally exposed as frauds? After generations of failed predictions and endless drought, did the people lose faith not only in their rulers, but in their gods as well? Was the Maya collapse not just an environmental disaster, but a catastrophic spiritual one also, that shattered their entire worldview? 3. Cahokia, the mound builders of North America. Just outside modern-day St. Louis stood Cahokia, the largest prehistoric settlement north of Mexico. At its peak around 1100 AD, it was home to 20,000 people, a population rivaling London at the time. Its centerpiece was Monk's Mound, a colossal earthen pyramid that required moving 14 million baskets of soil. This was a sophisticated trade and cultural hub. Yet, by the time European colonists arrived, Cahokia was a ghost town, its story completely forgotten. What happened to the mound builders? Theory 1. The calamitous flood. Scientists know a massive flood event occurred around 1200 AD, which would have devastated the croplands and freshwater sources of a city built on the Mississippi floodplain. This, combined with overhunting and deforestation, could have triggered a slow decline. But the darker twist: the end was not always peaceful. Researchers have uncovered signs of violence, massacres, and even cannibalism. Did the social structure snap under the pressure of disaster? Did the people, faced with starvation and a broken system, turn on their leaders and on each other in a final, desperate frenzy before fleeing for good?
But just as we're lost in the rabbit hole of catastrophic ends and dark ages, we have to apply the brakes. We must listen to the skeptics, the mainstream archaeologists. Because to them, these people never truly vanished. Their explanation is far more mundane, but equally profound. Assimilation. The Indus people didn't disappear. Their DNA and cultural ideas likely spread and blended into the fabric of subsequent Indian civilizations. The Maya never went extinct. Millions of their Mayan-speaking descendants still live in the region today. They didn't vanish. They just abandoned a failed political system. The Cahokians didn't die out. They likely migrated and joined other smaller communities. The skeptics say we are projecting our own fascination with apocalypse onto the past. These civilizations didn't disappear. They simply changed, their stories becoming threads in the larger, more complex tapestry of human history. So, where does that leave us? With two competing histories. One, a story of slow assimilation and cultural evolution. The other, a darker tale of sudden collapse and silent, empty cities. These ruins stand as a haunting reminder of the fragility of even the greatest societies. They force us to look at our own crowded, technologically advanced world and wonder, what will we leave behind? And how long would it take for the world to forget we were ever here? The choice of which story to believe is now yours. What do you think? Did these civilizations assimilate, or were they wiped out by catastrophe? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey into a historical dark mystery, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and keep wondering.